Hello students, welcome back. In today's video, we will take up a very simple concept of division. Yes, you might be wondering what is so great about division, but I have been observing some very common conceptual mistake that is being done by some of my students across the grades who have joined me recently, and they belong to grade 3, grade 4, grade 5, grade 6. So I can understand that there is a problem in the basic concept of division. So I will be trying to address that concept. I hope after watching this video, you will not make those mistakes again. So we'll start with a very small number. Let's say we are trying to divide 84 by, let's say, 6. So when you are dividing, the very first step is check the first digit and the divisor. Compare them. Is my divisor, that is 6, less than the first digit? If my answer is yes, then I will start my division just using the first digit. In this case, my divisor is less, so we will start the division. We will see where does 8 come in 6's table. So 8 doesn't come in 6's table, but the number before that is 6 times 1 is 6. So we'll put the 1 here, we'll put a 6 here, we'll subtract, the 4 comes down. My next number is 24, and in 6's table 6 times 4 is 24. So I put a 4 here and a 24 here, and my remainder is 0, and this is my quotient, this is my remainder. This one seems easy. Now let's see another example where the divisor, let's say 9, is greater than the first digit. I'm taking the same dividend. So 8 is my first digit of the dividend, and my divisor 9 is greater than that. In that case, if it is greater, then we will be taking the first two digits. Now I have seen many children doing this mistake. They write 9 times 0 is 0. See, the answer will be same, but you are unnecessarily doing extra steps and losing out on your valuable time, which you might invest to solve more questions or in an examination to recheck your answers. So we shouldn't do this. So if my divisor is greater than the first digit, I will go ahead and take two digits, the first two digits. So now we'll check where does 84 come in the table of 9. So 84 doesn't come in the table of 9, but we have 9 times 9 is 81. And my remainder is 3. So this is my quotient, this is my remainder. Now suppose let's check with a 3-digit number. Let's say 3, 5, 2. If we are dividing it with, say, 2 or 3, okay, so 2 is smaller than the first digit 3, so we'll straight away start our division with the first number. Even if it is 3, 3 comes in the table of 3, 3 times 1 is 3, and we'll start with the first digit. But if our divisor is say 4, 5, 6, any number which is more than 3, let's try to do the division with 4. So since the first digit 3 is less than the divisor, we'll take the first two digits. So we'll check where does 35 come in the table of 4. We know 4 times 8 is 32. Remainder 3. The 2 comes down. And again 4 times 8 is 32. So 88 is your quotient and 0 is your remainder. Now we'll check the division of a two-digit divisor. Let's say I have a number 1, 2, 4, 6. And suppose I am dividing with 50. Now you take the first digit, that's 1. Obviously 1 doesn't come in the table of 15. So we'll take the first two digits and now your number is 12. But 12 doesn't come in the table of 50 either. In that case, what shall we do? We'll take the first three digits. Now your number is 124. Now we'll check where does 124 come in the table of 50. So 15 times 8 is 120. And your remainder is 4. 6 comes down. 15 times 3 is 45. And your remainder is 1. I hope it's clear till here. Now let us see the process that we can use to check if our division is correct, if our quotient and remainder is correct. So remember that your dividend, that is a number which you were dividing, is equal to your quotient multiplied by the divisor plus the remainder. Let's check the first one. So our quotient here is 14. Our dividend is 6. We'll multiply this and we'll add the remainder, which in this case is 0. So what is 14 times 6? If you know the table of 14, fantastic. If you don't know the table of 14, let's do it. 6 times 4 is 24. Carry 2. 6 1 is 6 and 2 8. So are you getting back your dividend? Yes, matches. That means your division is correct. Let's check another division. Suppose let's check this one. So my dividend is equal to my divisor multiplied by the quotient and the answer plus the remainder, which is 1. So let's check 18. 3 times 15. 15 times 3 is 45. We have a carryover 4. 15 times 8 is 120 plus 4, 124. With this, you will be adding 1 and you get the answer as 1, 2, 4, 6. Does it match your dividend? Yes, it does. So this shows that your division is correct. Now we'll pick up division of a, let's say, 5-digit number: 2, 0, 3, 4, 7. Okay, and let's try to divide it with a 2-digit number, let's say 23. Now here I'm assuming that you do not know the table of 23. Okay, we are doing the division with that assumption. If you know the table, it's absolutely fine. You would know that in 23's table where does the number come, but we are doing this with the assumption that you are unaware of the table of 23. Okay. So the first step, we take the first digit 2. 2 definitely doesn't come in the table of 23. We'll take the first two digits 20. 20 also doesn't come in the table of 23. So we'll take the first three digits 203. Now 203 will definitely come somewhere in the table of 23, but assuming that we do not know the table of 23, we have to do a bit of estimation and trial and error. And here is where your knowledge about round off will come into play. Now 23, if you round it off to the nearest tens, you get 20. And the table of 20 is similar to the table of 2 with the 0 at the end. I'm sure you must be aware of that. And here your number which you're considering is 203, which you round off to the nearest tens will give you 200. So you can estimate that in 20's table, 20 times 10 is 200. However, your number here is 23, and 23 times 10 would be 230, which will be going beyond the 203. So as a matter of trial and error, you can try with 23 times 9. This is where you are estimating. So 9 times 3 is 27. 9 times 2 is 18 plus 2 is 20. 207. But when you estimate with 207, you see you are going beyond this number. So if this estimation doesn't work, it's very obvious that if you multiply 23 with the number just one less than 9, that is 8, you are sure to get the proper number with which you will be able to divide the 203. So 8 times 3 is 24. 8 times 2 is 16 plus 2 is 18, 184. So we'll put a 8 here and 184 here. If you subtract, you get a 19. 4 comes down, 194. Now see, if you see over here, you have 23 times 8 is 184. It's already done. You've already done that. So you can quickly put a 8 and you put a 184 and you get the remainder as 10 and your 7 comes down. Now again you have to estimate. So 107, if you round it off to the nearest tens, it is about 110. And here 23, if you round it off, it's about 20. So in 20's table, where does 110 come? See, 20 times 5 is 110. Okay, so you can try with 23 times 5. However, I believe 23 times 5 will shoot over because 3 times 5 is 15, so it will shoot over. So you can estimate it as 23 times 4. 4 3s are 12, 92. You subtract and your remainder is 50. So this is your quotient and this is your remainder. I hope you have understood how you will estimate in case you do not know the table of your divisor. Now we shall see an example of division of decimal numbers. Suppose we have a number 54.32 and let's say I'm trying to divide it with 7. So we'll do the normal division, the same steps. We'll take 5. Is 5 more than 7 or less than 7? It's less. So we'll take this 2 digits, 54. Whereas 54 come in the table of 7. 7 sevens are 49. Your remainder is 5. Now, normally if the decimal would have not been here, you would have brought down the 3. In this case also we'll just do the same thing. Now since we have a decimal here, we will put a decimal in our quotient and then bring down the 3. It's just that simple. Whenever you bump on to the decimal, put the decimal in your quotient and then continue normally with your division as you would have done in a whole number. So now, where does 53 come in the table of 7? Same, 7 times 7 is 49. So your remainder is 4. And now your 2 comes down. 7 times 6 is 42. So your answer is 7.76. Remainder is 0. Let's take another example. So we are trying to divide a large number 480023 with 12. So first check the first digit 4. 4 doesn't come in the table of 12. So we take the first two digits, that is 48. And yes, 48 comes in the table of 12. 12 times 4 is 48. And your remainder here is a 0. And then this 0 comes down. I've also seen this mistake amongst many children, that whenever you have a 0 to divide with, they tend to bring down more zeros or the following numbers. No, we know that the first multiple of 12 is 12 times 0, which is 0. The non-zero multiple starts from 1, but the first multiple is of course 0. So 12 times 0 is 0. You get a remainder 0. Now this 0 comes down. And again you put a 0. 12 times 0 is 0. Remainder is 0. You get a 0 here. The 2 comes down. Now again 2 doesn't come in the table of 12. So don't be tempted to bring down the 23. No, not yet. Again 12 times 0 is 0. You get a remainder 2. Now your 3 comes down and you get a 23. And 12 times 1 is 12 and your remainder is 11. I hope you have understood the steps. Never be tempted to bring down the following numbers. Always do one step at a time. Thank you. For more videos on decimals, please check the description.